Welcome. I call it a party because every time we're with Nana Boafo Tigare, we feel such love and joy. We welcome not only Boafo Tigare, but also Nana Korantemaa Ayeboafo, the Okomfo channeling Nana Boafo Tigare. We'd like to acknowledge that the music you heard in the opening is from the CD, The Greatest Love. And not surprisingly, Nana Korantemaa's greatest love is the music of the Okom. The Okom spiritual ceremony is the domain of the Okomfo. It's said that one of our ancestors, Nana Asi, was at an Okom ceremony, and she was dancing to the kind of music you heard, and she jumped into the air, and she ascended. Her body was never found. And so Nana Asi is one of the African ascended masters that we cherish. We also cherish Nana Okomfo Akuya Oparibia, who is the founder of the Asona Aberade Shrine, the producer of this podcast. And Nana Oparibia, as we lovingly call her in short, also trained Nana Korantemaa Ayeboafo to be an Okomfo, and that she too is an African ascended master. So let's begin. Nana Boafo Tigare, please, we are so happy that you're here, and we want to acknowledge that you're bringing forth the African spiritual wisdom that's always been available to us. It is our heritage. It is our birthright. It's the information, the knowledge that our ancestors lived by in their communal living, where they lived collaboratively in communities, until the destruction that came with war and with enslavement. That information may have been forgotten, but it was never lost. So I've been asking questions of you for a very long time. And today we're going to ask questions based on this book, Celestial Prophecies, Ancient Wisdom from Nana Asi Ketua, channeled from the third quarter of the heavens by Nana Korantemaa Ayeboafo. As a reminder, a link to get this book is in the description below. So, Nana Asi explains that human beings are experiencing a major shift in consciousness. And our new consciousness includes the heavens, the unseen forces, the stars and the planets, and human beings can actually communicate with these stars and planets. Could you speak about how we can communicate with these stars and planets?
Yes. Nana Asi is Queen of the underworld. And it says that there are many different dimensions to life. There are many different dimensions to life. And that together, the energies from different dimensions can coexist and create an environment of harmony. Human beings want to accept that they are not central to all life, that they are a part of life. And in knowing who they are, human beings, when they know who they are, they can coexist and create the paradise that life that is created here for earth to nurture and support life. Human beings can know that they live with nature, that they are custodians of their environment. And when Nana Asi shares this information, she wants humanity to take responsibility for the part that they contribute in making this a real place to live, a beautiful place to live, instead of seeing Earth just for what monetary gain they can get from the resources that are found here. So she is asking that during this era, that human beings open their mind and let go of those concepts or those structures that they were conditioned to believe that promotes inequality, that promotes disharmony. In other words, when something does not work, get rid of it. Change it so that you find those elements that do work, that do produce an environment of harmony, and that there is no room for seeing differences, but that there is lots of room for seeing and acting as if each one was the same. Each life force deserves equal respect and honor.
So can we actually communicate with stars and planets that are light years away?
Absolutely, because the energy and the dimensions are housed within the physical cells. That the distance that most people embrace is because of limited ways of thinking, limited ways of seeing reality. Instead of dissecting each thing to know what it is, there is an opportunity to put things together to see how they interact with each other, how there is a resonance that is just not affect what's on the planet, but also what is beyond planet Earth and in a part of other universes, of all things in the galaxy. Because now, as human beings evolve with the Earth and with all life, there is an opportunity to evolve the ways of thinking and to know that the heart and the brain and all cells of the body, including your DNA, has a resonance with the stars and with other planets beyond your solar system.
Well, an equally profound concept that Nana Asi is expressing involves how there are these dimensions or these worlds that can merge as one at this time. Nana Asi speaks of the heavens, the earth, and what is beneath the surface of the earth, and how these three dimensions function in what she describes as a very fine synchronicity. Might you speak about this as well, Nana Boafo Tigare?
For the indigenous communities and cultures from ancient times or from times beyond, before this time, there was an acceptance that the other realms of reality were all a part of one creative synchrony. And when we have musicians, when you have artists, other artists that create symphonies, that creates epic cinema output. The artists themselves has been inspired by other energies beyond this physical dimension. So it is this magnificence or this beauty or this extraordinary expression that comes forth. And human beings in general must not be in denial that the teachings and the knowledge of life and its existence has been scattered all over the universe. And that is why today, as people are more likely to explore and investigate, you will find developments of one culture mirrored in another culture that's many, many thousand miles away. Because it is the same information, the same energy that inspires and moves human life to evolve beyond what small-minded people used to believe. There is a knowing that now is coming forth to shatter limited beliefs.
So you've done a wonderful job in explaining what Nana Asi discusses. And Nana Asi also explains how this was put into place trillions of years ago, and how information can be received from every sphere of existence at the same time. So you've done a great job of helping us to understand how the artist, the person making a cinematic production, might be inspired, and how some of that inspiration could occur at various places all over the earth at the same time as creative genius. Some might be surprised to know that what is beneath the earthly plane encompasses a world unto itself. Some people even denigrate, because of our conditioning, what is below or below the earth's surface. So can you talk a little bit about the life forces that have taken refuge underneath the earthly plane?
When we think of worlds, other worlds than what is on or what is visual for those who have a physical bodies, except that there are great limitations within that physical sphere of knowing. And in order to comprehend things that are beyond the physical requires a desire and focus and acceptance that there is limitation. Beneath the earth and above the earth is more life. In fact, below the earth, we find a whole culture that encompasses much more than what we see on earth. So please, as you like to say, please, open your eyes and open your heart to accept the limitations of the physical world. In other words, as human beings evolve, you can accept that you are much more than your physical self. And therefore, you can understand that there is life in other places.
So Nana Asi actually connects the concept of our ability to create or manifest in reality emotionally charged images or pictures that manifest in the physical world with the fine synchronicity operating between these three worlds. Can you explain that a bit more?
For human beings, the capacity to feel the expressions that come through the emotions tell or convey what is happening around within the environment. So the senses that human beings have convey to them much more than what is available through their physical sight. And that is why we know that the senses are a way to fully get in contact with who you are, so that your feelings, your emotional field of existence will allow you to contact, to know when something other than what is physical and you come in contact with that, you feel it. Because all life is moving as energy, which causes vibration. And your emotions will allow you to acknowledge when vibrations change. For example, when you walk into a space and there are other people there, it is through your emotions, through your feelings, that you get to know right away whether this is going to be a comfortable environment for you. Now, of course, as a human being, you can change that reality, because if there is an energy of discomfort, you can in fact change it, and with your free will, you can decide to exit from it. It is your emotional self that will tell you. So use your senses and explore who you are.
So Nana Asi also wants us to see ourselves as living in the center of these three worlds: the world above, the earth, and the world below the earth. So it's very powerful, all that you are helping us to understand, Nana Boafo Tigare. So we are co-creators. And I'm also reminded of how we can not only create our reality by leaving a space, but of also some of the terms we use in the community rather casually, like feeling bad vibes, I got to get out of here, or this is a toxic environment, I am leaving. So let's go to just something else that's a related concept, and that is that we're also capable of creating chaos and manifesting chaos in reality. This is due to the human ego. Can you discuss further this danger of us creating chaos and how we can avoid this?
It is highly recommended, again, that human beings know themselves. To do that, there is now access to meditation, being still, being quiet, becoming an observer of self, looking in within self, thinking about what are you thinking? What is your condition of mind? Because again, you can create chaos within any environment based upon negative, judgmental, guilt, doubt, feelings, and thoughts. So Nana Asi is encouraging human beings to take the responsibility. Think of being a broadcaster. What you feel, what you think, you are broadcasting. Not using your voice, however, your vibrations, your emotions are energy, and they all move, they are alive, they are active. Therefore, when you want to have an environment of calm, of harmony, then you put those thoughts, those sounds, those feelings into that space, and it will manifest. When you are not taking responsibility for yourself and you find yourself in an environment where there is chaos, where there is confusion, where things are disarray, ask yourself, am I contributing to this environment based upon what I think, or based upon what I feel, or based upon what I am saying? Take responsibility. That is what is very hopeful. It is hopeful that from what you are learning, what you are hearing, that you are encouraged to take responsibility for where you are within a given space.
Yes, so let's write in the comments a new affirmation. I am broadcasting love and light. So as we end, I want to turn to a specific prophecy that Nana Asi makes in her book, and that is for the unification of all humanity, the unification of all the races, the unification where all life is one. Boafo Tigare, as we end, just briefly, what might you say about this prophecy?
This prophecy has value because many people do not believe this as a possibility. And we want to broadcast to you over and over and over again that it is possible. And that as we evolve and as things change, and even though the experiences that are in the environment are not all harmonious, there is the possibility of humanity taking more responsibility for their action in every way. And this will make it a reality. And even when it doesn't manifest during your aliveness, that life that comes after will be able to experience a magnificent paradise here on earth.
Again, we are truly blessed and honored to be able to receive this African spiritual healing wisdom from you, Nana Boafo Tigare. So please remember to subscribe, like us, share this video, and leave comments. In fact, I want you to answer this question in the comments section. Are you enjoying this Tigare party? And what teaching or lesson really touched your heart or struck your mind today as something that had a big impact. So as we conclude, there'll be more videos coming. And remember, you can obtain the book Celestial Prophecies from our website by going to the link below to the Asona Aberade Shrine.org. And I want to thank those of you who have made a contribution so that we continue our work. Thank you. From the core of my heart, I express my love. I send out my gratitude. I broadcast my gratitude and my love. And thank you.